It's what you thought it was going to be. And what you thought it was going to be was good feels. You set yourself up for failure because all you connected the success to was the good feels at the end.
And now for something completely different.
Welcome to
Surrounded by Idiots
Radio Podcast.
From the JavaBud.com studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, it is the Surrounded by Idiots Radio Podcast. Hey, it's Tony Dufresne, PhD. Glad to be back with you on this beautiful week here in Scottsdale, and I hope things are treating you well wherever you happen to be. This week is actually on video as well. Going to start that up again. Today's story comes from a workout that I did a couple days ago. And right now I'm doing a split. I'm doing the insanity workouts every other day. And then I'll go to the gym and do like a quick half an hour, 45-minute workout. And the insanity videos, they are so good at challenging you and giving you enough to where even if you get a little bit better in the workout, it still has a little more to go to continue to challenge you through that. And that's why I've been doing them for 10 plus years, and I absolutely love them. So a couple days ago, I'm doing the insanity video for like the 100th time. It's not like it's a brand new thing. And a lot of times when I start working out during whatever day it happens to be, I don't feel like working out. I just don't. And this is somebody who works out 5 or 6 days a week or has for a long period of time. I still don't like it most of the time, but I know in the long run, and that's the whole point of this show. So I'm starting the workout a couple days ago, and I get to that point. You know that point where you start to warm up a little bit, loosen up, and then you start to feel, to me, it feels like I have on a very uncomfortable sweater. And it's just uncomfortable, and I'm hot and cold at the same time, and my muscles are starting to understand that I'm going to work them out a little bit more than they have been just sitting down for the last, few hours. And you reach that point in the workout where it's like 10 minutes in, you've got to power through that because it's so uncomfortable. And it's that exact situation that is a great metaphor for life, because so many times we'll go through and we'll start something off because we know, or we choose to do something because we want to get to a certain point. We want to achieve a goal or achieve an objective or be successful in business or in life and relationships. And we know that doing certain things at the beginning we need to do to move through that. Now, at the beginning, when you're all fired up and you're feeling good, then there is no obstacle, right? It's just let me have it and let's go. But once you start the journey, that's when the good feels go away. And so often, that's when people shut down. And that's when you feel like in doing insanity, after that 10 or 12 minutes, you feel like shutting down. Your body's not happy. Your mind is not happy. You feel like you have this uncomfortable, big, thick wool sweater on that you need to get off. It's just uncomfortable. And that's when a lot of people shut it down. And then you regroup and then you get really pissed off about it because of the fact you didn't follow through. Then you get juiced up again, and then you start it up again, and then you get to that 10 or 12 minute point, and then you start to feel crappy and you shut it down. The reason why that happened is because we have been programmed through multiple ways to chase after the good feels. And even though something is, in the long run is good for you, something that you need to do that might be a little painful or a little uncomfortable, but it will get you to your objective, even though you know that, when you get to that point, that uncomfortable feeling, you'll find whatever excuse you can to shut it down. I got to tell you, I've used excuses like, I don't have time to do this, but interestingly enough, I would stop doing it, then I would dick around for a half an hour. Or I get my mind set on something else and I can't concentrate, and then I talk myself out of it thinking, well, I'm not into this and I'm not focused, then I shouldn't be doing this. There are so many ways that you can shut yourself down because it's not comfortable. And that brings me to the Moral of the story today: when your ultimate objective is good feels, you are doomed. Absolutely doomed. And this is where the confusion reigns, because if you just sit there in your gravy and you're taking a look at what your objective is, and your objective is to be a very successful person in, let's say, your business. Well, what are you going to think of when you think of successful business? You're going to take a look around comparatively and look at other people that are successful and see what they have and see how they are and see how fulfilled they are. And you will see that, and that will give you the good feels sitting in your own stuff before you do any of the work. So you think, okay, well, that's what I'm going to get to because that's where I want to be. But once you start in process, and the process is always ugly and sloppy and clunky, always. Once you start in that process, that's not what you pictured when you were sitting there planning out your grand takeover of the world at the beginning. So there's a disconnect there, because how you're feeling now isn't what you thought it was going to be. And that's the whole point, right? It's what you thought it was going to be. And what you thought it was going to be was good feels. You set yourself up for failure because all you connected the success to was the good feels at the end. Huge mistake. And the fact is that why do you think that when you go to the gym, if you go regularly, most of the people that you see look the same as they have year after year? They just look the same. They do the same stuff. And you know these people, right? They'll go in there and they'll chat it up, because if they've been going there for a while, most of the time there's a social aspect to it, or they'll have their own certain people that they are comfortable with, and they'll chat it up with them. They'll go and do a few different things, and then they'll get on their phone and mess around with that for a bit, and then they'll bail. Year after year, they'll do this. I've seen so many people that just continue to go, and they look the same. And the reason why they look the same is because they're bailing after that 12 minutes of insanity. They're bailing after the good feels go away. They're going to the gym for the good feels of the social connection, the good feels of saying to themselves, I made it to the gym. Well, I'm telling you, man, just making it to the gym and chatting it up with your boys ain't going to get you to where you want to go. And I've talked to a lot of those people. And I've had a lot of clients that have hit that block. And the reason being is because of the uncomfortableness and the fact that it's clunky and it's not what they thought it was going to be. And it hurts. And some days, I swear to God, I mean, you know that some days you do not want to go to the gym. You do not want to put that DVD into the player. You do not want to go on YouTube and do that exercise routine. You just don't. But that's the uncomfortable. That's the 12 minutes into insanity. And as sure as shit, if you don't push past that, if you don't see the long haul on this, if you have the ability to project into the future just a little bit and see that you'll have the good feels then, even though you feel like crap 12 minutes in, you'll be fine. Because that's what it takes. But so many people, most, do not have the ability to do that. But I know you do, because you've been listening to this, and more than likely you've been working on yourself in different aspects as well, reading different books, going to different seminars, applying these certain concepts into your own life. And this is a huge one, because this one comes up all the time, because so many people, and a lot of it's subconscious, so I'm not going to be pointing fingers at anybody, and I do the same thing too, because I get into insanity. I get 10 minutes or 12 minutes in, and I feel like shit. I feel like I just want to, make some excuse and go make a sandwich. But the fact is that I would not be able to be where I'm at in terms of my physical health if I did that. And the fact is that those people that are at the gym that you've seen for the past 3 years that look exactly the same are not pushing through. So the question is that what is your objective? And if your objective is just feeling good at any moment, making yourself feel good at any moment, then you're going to have that moment, and good for you. But you're not going to get to a long-term objective if that objective includes sacrifices and hard work and being uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone, because you will never get there if you just look for the good feels. My call to action to you is asking yourself bluntly, do I chase the feeling? What is getting in the way of my big objective? Is it needing to feel good every step of the way? If it is, if that's a requirement for you to get to your objective, needs to feel good all the time throughout your journey to that, you are not going to follow through. Guaranteed. Because a passion project, or living in your passion, or living with purpose, or following through to a particular goal or objective includes the good feels, and it includes the uncomfortable, bad, crappy, I don't want to get up feels as well. It's all inclusive. It's part of the journey. So if you're not going to accept that, if you're just looking for good feels, if you sit there and you quit on yourself right when the feels go away, then you know. That's the exact block that's happening every single time you get on your path to follow it to where you want to go. So take a look at that on yourself, and remember, good feels have zero to do with reaching your ultimate objective. Now, your ultimate objective is going to be more satisfying and fulfilling. It's not going to be an adrenaline rush. The adrenaline rush comes along the way to kind of keep the carrot in front of you. And it also comes along the way to keep you moving through those low times as well. That's it. Hope you had a great week. Remember, everything's on javabud.com, JAVABUD. You can get a hold of me at tony@javabud.com. You can buy my book, Surrounded by Idiots, on Amazon. And I'm working on the audiobook that's going to be coming out very, very soon. I may even offer a free thing for you guys that have been with me for the past 4 years or so. And lastly, please consider choosing me as a flash briefing on your Alexa device. I will talk to you next week. Take care. Bye.
I'm calling all